Hey, cartooners, you're listening to Toon Travel. I'm Paul Siebert,
And I'm Faith Casto.
and each week, well, month, I guess, we go back in time and watch retro cartoons. And how are you doing, Faith?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
All right. Well, finished up my midterm paper and been doing a lot of squirrel stuff, gathering nuts for the fall and winter. And we ended our last show on a little bit of a cliffhanger. For those of our audience, you can't see it now, but Faith has turned into a plant monster. I was just wondering, have you been shedding any leaves or
Uh,
flowering?
yeah, honestly, I've changed a little bit, changed a little color. Suppose like the leaves on the trees.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a good look for you.
Thank you.
So this is our Halloween episode, and if I had thought this out a little more, maybe we should have done Tales from the Crypt Keeper, one of the Ghostbusters cartoons. But we are going to be looking at Little Shop, the 1991 attempt at turning Little Shop of Horror into a cartoon. Not a lot of horror, but you got a little bit of a history with that.
Yeah, I do actually. During my senior year of high school for our spring play in theater, we actually did Little Shop of Horror, and I was one of the ensemble as a nun.
Oh my! And let's talk a little bit about Halloween here, because I was wondering, do you consider Audrey Jr., the name of the plant?
Audrey, yeah.
Would you consider him to be a Halloween monster?
Huh. That's a good question. I feel like he could be, but I don't know. I guess because I did the show in the spring, it feels more like a spring kind of monster, you know?
See, I'm of two minds, because on one hand, if someone puts on Little Shop of Horrors at a Halloween party, I'll watch it. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
But it seems like the plant would be a lot of work to make into a Halloween costume.
Yeah, seems like it. Although I will say that's not one of the shows or movies, I guess, that I would consider Halloween, because I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone put it on for a Halloween movie.
My mom probably would. Um,
Right.
but speaking of Halloween, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
That's a good question. I know when I was a kid I used to love Kit Kats, but um I would say either the Hershey almond bars or maybe Sour Patch Kids, something a little like sour, sweet, a little bit of both.
I'm a big fan of mini paydays. They get that
Oh yeah.
sweet and salty itch.
Mm-hmm.
Also a big fan of the Reese's Take 5 bars.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen those in a little bit.
Oh, they're great. They have a little bit of everything in there.
Oh yeah.
So every episode, we go back in time and we get a sponsor for a good or service that no longer exists. And I need to point out, we specifically do not get any money for this because the good and service no longer exists. I have to say it now because we're on public radio.
True.
Yeah, you can listen to us on WMUL every other Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And comes right on after my DJ shift. And we are starting all the way back at episode 1. We just we skipped ahead just a little bit so we could have Tales from the Crypt Keeper be our Halloween episode.
Okay.
But but I mention this because this episode, our defunct sponsor, is not a good or service. It is a place.
Ooh.
A country fun, there's only one. Opryland stands alone. Top of the charts in America's heart. Our country's country home. Irresistible, original and tuneful. This is where it all began. Come catch the spark, come touch the stars. It's a legend across the land. Opryland is it, the original country hit.
Yes, it is Opryland, USA, Nashville's country western amusement park. And it was fairly unique in among amusement parks because they got big name acts to perform there, and it was all about the live shows, though they had roller coasters and stuff.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, it was profitable every year it was open. But in 1997, the owners of the Gaylord Hotel, who owned a park, decided to close it to make room for a shopping and convention center, which was a notorious flop.
Yeah, that seems rather unfortunate.
Yeah. Speaking of country western music, I grabbed a newspaper while we were back in 1991, and on September 2nd, 1991, Garth Brooks released his third studio album, Rope in the Wind, which included such hits as Rodeo, Shameless, and What's She Doing Now. This album would debut at number 1 on the Billboard Top 200, and it would have 4 runs at the top of the charts and win Billboard's Album of the Year, ultimately going platinum 14 times.
Wow.
Yeah, that is over 14 million albums sold.
That's amazing.
That is a lot of CD. For the weekend of September 6th through 8th, the number 1 movie at the box office was Dead Again, a neo-noir mystery directed and starring Kenneth Branagh as a private investigator trying to find the identity of a woman with amnesia, played by Emma Thompson. What would make this particularly as impressive is that the film was released in less than 800 theaters.
Wow.
It would gross a total of $38 million. Other films in theaters that week included Terminator 2, Child's Play 3, and the Charlie Sheen comedy Hot Shots. On September 4th, the MLB Statistical Accuracy Commission voted to drop the asterisk next to Roger Maris's name. Maris in 1961 hit the home run record for a season, hitting a total of 61 homers, passing Babe Ruth's record for 60 home runs in a season, but they put an asterisk next to his name, not because he cheated or anything, but because his season was longer than Ruth's.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So for many years, Maris had an asterisk next to his name, because even though he did nothing wrong. And those were some of the things going on in 1991.
Now, is the asterisk typically if they do something wrong, or?
Yeah, when Barry Bonds hit the home run record, a lot of people wanted an asterisk next to his name because he allegedly doped.
Right, okay.
So it's usually for stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Little Shop of Horrors. It was originally a horror comedy in 1960, directed by Roger Corman and written by Charles B. Griffith. Starred Jonathan Hayes, Jackie Joseph, Mel Wells, and Dick Miller. It also featured a cameo by a young Jack Nicholson and was shot on a budget of $28,000.
Dang.
Yeah, that's how Roger Corman did him. He made him fast and cheap, and he never lost a dime. Corman would go on and direct over 50 films and produce hundreds more. The movie started to develop its cult following, was released in a double feature with Mario Bava's Black Sunday, which it's kind of interesting they would do that because Little Shop of Horrors is a horror comedy and Black Sunday is a very serious Italian Gothic horror film.
Right, okay.
But over the years, the film attracted such a cult following that in 1982, it was adapted into a campy musical by Alan Menken with a script by Howard Ashman. Initially debuting as an off-Broadway production, it was off-Broadway. That was how out of the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was moved to the Orpheum Theater, where it played for 5 years. At the time, it was the third longest-running musical and the highest-grossing production in off-Broadway history.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there have been numerous revivals, including a 2003 Broadway production, and because it has a relatively small cast, it has been a popular play for community theaters, for high schools, and colleges, as you know.
Yes.
And
I know something I found really interesting about our play. We actually got, I can't remember his name, but he's in Charleston, and he gave us the Audrey 2 plant that he made for, I believe, the Broadway musical of it.
oh, wow.
I can't remember for sure, but I know he also did, like, makeup art for, like, a TV show of some sort.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing, there was a sitcom when I was a kid called Head of the Class about a group of high school students. It ran for 5 years, which means they probably weren't getting that good of grades. Uh, but there was a two-part episode where they did on a school production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So in 1986, the play was adapted into a theatrical film. It was directed by Frank Oz. And does that name sound familiar to you?
Have we mentioned it before in the previous episodes?
Well, he's a successful director. He also did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and In and Out, but he got his start as a puppeteer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he worked for the Jim Henson Company as the man behind such characters as Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Cookie Monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the film stars Rick Moranis, Ellen Greer, Vincent Gardenia, and Steve Martin, with R&B legend Levi Stubb as the voice of the plant. Now, here's what's interesting about the movie is that the movie and the play have very different endings.
Yeah.
And after a negative reaction to test screenings, the film was subject to extensive reshoots with a new happy ending added. Today, you can watch both versions of the film. And have you seen both versions of the film or the film and the play?
I actually have not. I did want to watch it, though. I know around the time that we did the play, if you would go to Walmart, there were a lot of, like, DVDs of it, but I never did get to watch it.
Yeah, there's been several different cuts of the film released on a DVD and Blu-ray over the years. And today, if you have a digital copy, you can watch it, both versions, on the streaming service Movies Anywhere. They have it as the director's cut as a special feature. And I actually prefer the theatrical cut. I think what works in a campy play and what works on a big screen movie, particularly when you have an actor as likable as Rick Moranis in the lead, are different.
Yeah, for sure.
So the film grossed $54 million off of a $24 million budget and was an even bigger success on VHS and cable. And for the movie, a new song, Mean Green Mother from Outer Space, was created, and it was nominated for an Academy Award.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it is also the first song nominated for an Academy Award that includes a swear word.
Oh, wow.
So in 1991, an animated series loosely based on the movie and the musical aired on the fall 1991 season on the new Fox Kids network. This was about the second year that the Fox had really gotten into children's programming, and it wasn't really until 1992 that things really got off and running there. The series was adapted for television by Ellen Levy and Mark Edwin Edwards and produced by Tom Tatarana, Tatanaras, I cannot pronounce his name, who worked on other shows, including Filmation's Ghostbusters, which we talked about before. He also worked on Brave Star and Biker Mice from Mars, which are two possible future episodes. And the music was produced by Chaim Sodban, who brought Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to the United States, and Shuki Levy. The show was produced by Marvel Productions, which was originally the entertainment wing of Marvel Comics. It eventually got sold off to, I believe, Fox, and it got bundled together with New World Pictures.
Huh.
But,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But their big show, they did do some Marvel properties like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, yeah.
But their biggest hit was actually Muppet Babies. And the show ran for one season of 13 episodes, and it probably was canceled in part due to the fact that it aired opposite of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
And we watched the pilot, which was Season 1, Episode 1, Bad Seed, written by Mark Edward Edens.
me to bust a rhyme, so sit back and chill for a while. I'm coming at ya like Toon style, so get ready for a funny bone overload at the Little Shop. Yeah, boy, in full effect. Yo, the Little Shop posse's gaining respect, so break out before I put you in check. Now when you come to the shop, what you get, what you see, so just be careful. Getting close to me. Little shop, little shop. Take me to the little shop, little shop. I wanna go to the little shop. Word, little shop.
And our show opens up with a rap music theme song. And I couldn't just help but think, this is the kind of rap music that Dr. Dre killed when he released The Chronic the next year. And I don't know why they didn't use the iconic doo-wop theme song to the musical.
I don't know.
We are introduced to our protagonist, Seymour, who falls out of bed. He says, I got everything it takes to be a nerd except brains. And, oh boy, I couldn't help but notice that the animation on this show looked pretty cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of had a little charm to it.
Well, they were trying to do that thing where it looks like a child's drawings.
Yeah.
In a sense, I mean, there are shows like Doug and Disney's Pepper Ann that did that to great effect, but it just didn't seem to work for me on this one.
Yeah. I know that was the first thing I noticed too, but I guess once I started watching it more, it had a little bit of charm to it. It kind of reminded me of like a nostalgic little kick.
Yeah. So we see Seymour's mother from the neck down with her head obscured. He goes to school and has his lunch taken by a bully character who, according to the show's wiki, is named Payne Driller. I guess you can't have the bully be a dentist at that age. Seymour and all the cast are much younger in this. So Payne throws Seymour in a trash can, and you know what? You just don't see bullies as antagonists in kids' shows these days. I guess because their actions are easily imitatable, and we as a society realized, oh, yeah, bullying is a very bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn that Seymour has a crush on Audrey, and while daydreaming about him, he accidentally causes a explosion mixing chemicals in chemistry class. He then has a dream where he's a caveman, and in the dream he finds a jack-in-the-box, and the plant, Audrey Jr., jumps out of the black box and says, yo, I ain't staying in your dreams for long, and we cut to a commercial break, and it looks like this is going to be a cliffhanger, but it's just, it's sort of nothing really, padding.
Yeah, it's like a little intro sort of thing.
So we cut back to Seymour at the flower shop. We learn that the shop's owner is Audrey's father in this version of the story. Also, Audrey, for some reason, wants to be a firefighter. Seymour accidentally overwaters a plant and floods the shop, which gets him in trouble. Making a delivery, Seymour runs into Driller again, who splashes mud on him and throws his homework in the dumpster. As Seymour tries to fish his homework out, a truck comes along and takes him to the dump. When Seymour ends up landing on a rock, which turns out to be a fossilized seed, he decides to take it home with him and puts it inside his lunchbox. He opens up his lunchbox to discover that the plant has sprouted. Bully returns and tries to steal his lunch again, only to get bit by the plant. The bully responds by slingshotting Seymour through a wall. And, you know, this is one of the problems with the show. When you have a bully who's this much of an antagonist, you kind of want to see him get some sort of comeuppance.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is a show for small children, he can't be eaten by the plant.
Yeah.
So anyway, back at the shop, Audrey's father is sad because business is bad, and this leads to a doo-wop musical number that is easily the best thing about the episode. Seymour and the owner sing about how if they didn't have bad luck, they'd have no luck at all. We flash forward a bit at night, and the plant can now talk, so it grabs a telephone and orders a pizza. The delivery boy turns out to be the bully who tries to break into the store's cash register. He has Inspector Gadget Biznos coming out of his braces for some reason. The plant grows to giant size and is threatened to eat the bully when Seymour walks in. The bully throws Seymour into a bag of compost and threatens to come back. The plant reveals it can talk to Seymour. He tells him that he's breaking out of the shop and that if Seymour helps, he'll help him get Audrey's attention. The next day, back at the shop, The bully is there, but never mind. Audrey has purchased a fire hose. Seymour is in trouble because the shop's owner thinks that he ordered a pizza and didn't pay for it, and the plant has some sort of weird mind control seeds. He tries to use it to make Audrey think that Seymour's cool. He spits one towards her, but it hits the bully instead, and Driller becomes enamored with Seymour, and oh boy, this scene plays a bit differently through 2025 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So for some reason, they are all riding along on a bike, and the Plant throws the bully in the dumpster and swipes his bike with Seymour in tow. Plant does this New Jack Swing style of rap about how it doesn't want to live in the city and wants to go home. And I will say one thing about the show is that the music is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Seymour and the Plant go back to the dump, and they discover that it was built over a petrified forest, meaning that the plant is 200 million years old. So I guess Audrey Jr. here is not a mean green mother from outer space in this version.
Guess not.
So the long story short is Audrey Jr. can't go home again, so he agrees to stay at the little shop. Driller wakes up with no memory of what happened to him and takes his bike back. Seymour and Jr. ride in a vegetable truck to go back to the city, and Jr. is horrified to find out that the vegetable truck is going to a soup factory. He is appalled at the idea of vegetable soup. And there is a cute gag where one of the soup factory says Warhols, which is a cute touch. I thought that was one of the side gags that worked. Back at the shop, Junior sings a song where he is trying to rile up the other plants into rising against the humans. Seymour walks in and threatens to overwater Junior if he keeps revolting. The plant gets the jump on him by grabbing Audrey's fire hose, and the result is the shop being flooded in a comic mishap. Audrey rushes in her little firefighter outfit and thinks Seymour must have put out a fire, and for once he has impressed the girl. The shop owner comes in to see that the plants are all blooming, so he's happy, and we flash forward a little bit. The shop is doing well. Audrey now acknowledges Seymour. Junior is still trying to get the flowers to revolt, and Driller gets a little bit of comeuppance when the plant eats his bike. And not gonna lie, this episode, it was only 20 minutes long. I thought that they must have paired this with some sort of animated short music video for time.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a little bit of a rough episode to get through. I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think one of the main things I liked was that it still had that, like, musical touch to it, I guess the musical of the plays had. So I guess that's one of the touches that I liked the most.
I did think the music was, for the most part, well done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we needed, 3 rap songs if you count the theme song.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I guess that was just the thing they wanted to go for Audrey.
It's something like, I understand you can't have Audrey Jr. eating people.
Yeah.
But there seem to be some elements from the musical that should have been retained. And I don't understand why they went with the decision to have the children sound like Peanuts characters. Why not have a voice actor that sounds like a young Rick Moranis?
Mm-hmm. I also noticed, when we saw that the mother, we could only see her from, the chest down.
Yeah.
That also kind of reminded me of, the Peanuts element of you don't see the adults besides, I guess, the shop owner.
My theory is that the previous year, the Beetlejuice cartoon came out, and maybe they were trying to follow in the footsteps of that, because that show very successfully turned Beetlejuice into sort of an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you can really do that with Audrey Jr.
Yeah, I guess not. I also thought that the gag that Audrey was very into being a firefighter was something a little out there.
Yeah.
It was a little odd.
I looked at the episode guide. Apparently, the running joke was that she was trying to figure out what she wanted to be when she grew up, so she was trying a different job in every episode.
Right, okay.
But yeah, it does seem kind of out there, and I don't know why they didn't make it a little more like the musical in terms of characters. I mean, you could, in instead of having a generic bully character, you could at least have him sound a little bit like Steve Martin.
Or even have him, like, want to be a dentist when he grows up or something.
Yeah.
I guess the braces is what they tried to go for with that, but I don't know.
So we're going to play a little game show, and we'll cue up the game show music.
Okay.
And this episode's game is called Horror Mania.
Oh.
Now, the original Little Shop of Horrors was directed by the legendary Roger Corman, who directed over 50 movies and produced hundreds more. We're talking like 500.
Wow.
I'm going to list the title of a B movie. What you have to do is guess whether it's a Roger Corman movie or not.
Okay.
All right. So our first movie is A Bucket of Blood.
Bucket of Blood. I want to say that it is.
Correct.
Let's go.
All right. This is a 1959 horror comedy directed by Roger Corman that shared a set with the original Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
So, Roger Corman wasn't going to let a good set go unused. So he recycled a bit.
I wouldn't blame him for that.
All right. Our second movie is Teenage Caveman.
I feel like that's not by him.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're wrong. Teenage Caveman was a 1958 movie directed by Roger Corman starring Robert Vaughn, who would later star in the TV show The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And this movie got some fame in the 90s as it was featured on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Interesting.
So you got 1 point here. You need 3 points to win. Number 3, The Flesh Eaters.
Not by him?
You are correct. The Flesh Eaters is a 1964 horror film directed by Jack Curtis. Roger Corman was not involved in this one. All right. Number 4, Attack of the Mushroom People.
I feel like that one is by him.
Okay, unfortunately, you're wrong. Attack of the Mushroom People is the American title of Matango, a 1963 Japanese horror film by Godzilla director Ishiro Kanda. So you got 2 points. We got one more movie to go here. You still got a chance to win.
Okay.
Attack of the Crab Monsters.
Attack of the Crab Monsters. Is that one by him?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Attack of the Crab Monsters. I'll go for all the money and say it is.
You are correct.
Let's go.
Yes, Attack of the Crab Monsters is a 1957 film by Roger Corman that played theatrically on a double bill with another Roger Corman film, Not of This Earth. So you are the winner.
Woo!
All right. Now, just a reminder, if you'd like to support this show and are listening to this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. When you subscribe to the Dead Podcaster Society's feed, you'll get more great shows like Anime Deep Dive, Y Radio, Lizards Inc., and Gaming History 101. You can also subscribe to this show directly on Spotify.
Ooh.
And, of course, you can listen to this on WMUL. We are also now on the WMUL SoundCloud.
Awesome.
Yes. Now, Faith, next month is my birthday. I thought it'd be nice to give myself a little bit of an early birthday gift and do an episode of Chippendale Rescue Rangers next week.
Ooh, absolutely.
All right. So we will be back in 2 weeks, and we might have a guest on board, and we will once again delve into the Disney afternoon.
Sounds amazing. And we will see you next time.
Thank you, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.